Today we're going to talk about order of operations, and I'm sure you've heard PEMDAS. And what PEMDAS stands for is parentheses, but when we say parentheses, we also mean any kind of grouping symbols. E is for exponents. M and D, that's multiplication and division, and they are next to each other, not one above the other, because you don't always multiply before you divide. You do it in the order you see it. So that's for multiplication and division, and then A and S is for addition and subtraction. Again, you're going to go left to right in the order you see it. Some other things we want to talk about, different forms of parentheses. What we consider parentheses are these little things right here. Those are grouping symbols or parentheses. These are parentheses, and of course these are parentheses. Now when you're working with parentheses, essentially if I have something here and then I have something here, it doesn't really matter if I do this one first and then the other one, because I'm not going to add them until I've solved this one and this one. So they're never going to interact until I've done both of them. Okay, the other thing I wanted to talk about was the fraction bar. The fraction bar, let's say that I had used that to show division and I have something here and I have something here. Okay, I'm just making something random up. There's like invisible little symbols to group this, saying that that's its own problem and that's its own problem. Okay, and you could really be doing that. It's almost like its own little group. Okay, I can do all of that because I have to get all that done before I can interact with any of the other stuff. It doesn't matter what's over here. Okay, I've got to get all that done before it can interact with the rest of it. That being said, let's do several different problems. Okay, I'm going to do this problem. Again, I'm going to start with parentheses. Notice I have two groups of parentheses here, and I'm just going to write my little PEMDAS to remind myself. Okay, and I'm going to start with my regular parentheses because I cannot do anything inside of this parentheses until I do the parentheses inside. Okay, this is its own little symbol, so I can't try to take something from the rest of it. So I'm going to start with 3 times 5 is 15, and then I'm going to copy everything that I have left that I did not just box in. And remember that dot is just multiplication. Okay, I still have parentheses. Now that 4 and 15, that's just showing 4 times 15. That doesn't necessarily mean parentheses. I mean, there's not an operation in that parentheses. But I'm going to go ahead and do 3 times 2 is 6. And now I'm going to copy everything left. And I still have more stuff in parentheses. And again, you got to follow order of operations within the parentheses. So now I'm going to do 4 times 15, which is 60. And I'm going to copy everything that I have left that I didn't box in. Do I still have parentheses? Yes, I have a lot of parentheses in this problem because of those brackets. So 60 plus 6 is 66, and I'm going to copy everything left. Finally done with parentheses, now I have exponents. I do have exponents right here, and that means 10 times 10, which is 100. So that's 100 minus 66. So that's all I have left to do. 100 minus 66 is 34. Okay, I know I went through that fast, but I want to show you several different examples. Okay, I'm going to show you another example. Okay, I notice I have a lot going on here. Right here, that's just showing multiplication. There's no actual anything to do in parentheses there. But I'm going to, let me write the PEMDAS real quick. Okay, I do notice that in parentheses I do have this negative 49 divided by 7. Those integers are never going to go away. So negative 49 divided by 7 is going to be negative 7. And then I'm going to copy everything I have left. And be careful, because one of the biggest mistakes I see is we start copying an operation symbol wrong, or we forget to copy part of it. Now, I don't have any more operations in parentheses to do, but I have exponents. So I'm going to do these exponents next, which is 4 squared, which 4 times 4, that's 16. Okay, and then I'm going to copy everything else I have left. Okay, now I'm going to do, I don't have any more exponents, so I'm going to do multiplication and division. And I have multiplication, that's 5 times negative 4, so that's going to be negative 20. And again, I'm going to copy everything down. Now I'm going to do addition and subtraction in the order I see it. So I have negative 20 plus 16. Those integers, pesky little integers, never going away. That's going to be negative 4. And then I have plus negative 7 left. And now I just have to do that. Negative 4 plus negative 7 is negative 11. So there's that one. Okay, I notice I don't have parentheses on this one, but I do have exponents. So I'm going to go to that first. And when I want to work it out, I don't want to try to do it right here. I'm going to go to the side to work it out. So that's 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, just in case I forget. And then I'm going to copy everything else just like it was. Now, I don't have any exponents left, but I do have multiplication and division, so that's what I'm going to do right here is multiplication. I'm going to go to the side to work that out. I'm not going to do it underneath there because then I'm going to get all my little steps all mixed up. Okay, so 8 times 3 halves. I can cross cancel, and that's going to leave me with just 12. Okay, now I'm going to copy everything else. Now I have 25 minus 7 plus 12. I'm done with multiplication division. I see subtraction first, so I'm going to do that first. And 25 minus 7 is 17. No, it's not. 25 minus 7 would be 18. Plus 12 is what I'm left with. And then 18 plus 12, that's all I've got left. That's going to be 30. Okay, let's do another example. Dun dun dun. We have decimals. Oh no! So we have PEMDAS, our order of operations. Now I see parentheses, but that's just to group the numbers with your operation sign, like the negative sign and all of that. There's no actual parentheses to do, no operation inside of parentheses. I have no exponents. Multiplication, division. Well, I see multiplication sign right there, and I see division right here. But division comes first in the problem, so I'm going to do that first. Now, I am not going to come over here and try to work it out right here and all that. No, I'm going to the side to work it out. So I'm going to do, I know it's going to be negative because a negative divided by a positive is a negative. So 1 5/10 divided by 5/10. Slide, slide, raise the roof. So 5 goes into 15 3 times. So that is 3. So that's going to be a negative 3. And then I'm going to copy everything else. And it's really tempting to now do 4 plus negative 3. Really tempting. But I've got multiplication first. So I'm going to do negative 3 times 1.3, or 1 3/10. So I'm going to come over here, and I know it's going to be negative because a negative times a positive is a negative. And that is going to be 3 9/10. So I have 4 plus negative 3 9/10. Well, what is 4 minus 3 9/10? That's just going to be 1/10. Okay, for another problem. Excuse my sloppy handwriting here. Okay, so I'm going to use my order of operations, and I see parentheses first, so I'm going to do that. 2 plus 8 is 10. Copy everything else. Look at all this division. Now I have 10 divided by 2 divided by 10. So one step at a time. 10 divided by 2 is 5. And now I'm left with 5 divided by 10. So that looks like 5 divided by 10. Not to be confused with 10 divided by 5. 10 doesn't go into 5, so I'm going to add a decimal 0, bring that decimal up, and 10 will go into 55 times. So that means that is going to be 5/10. Okay, one more problem. This one looks scary, but it's really not. Now, one of the things that I'm going to talk about before I start this is, remember, this has like its own grouping symbol here. It's just invisible, and this has kind of got its own grouping symbol. It's like kind of like it's invisible parentheses. So I can really work that out first, or I can kind of come over here. This right here is going to be done, and this is going to be done before I ever add it, because multiplication is going to come before that. So I'm going to start with this 7 squared. 7 squared means 7 times 7. So that's going to be 49 minus 9 over 5 plus 11 times 2. So again, it's like there's invisible parentheses right here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that first. 49 minus 9 is 40 over 5 plus 11 times 2. Well, 40 over 5 is 40 divided by 5, so that's division. So 40 divided by 5 is 8 plus 11 times 2. What should I do next? I'm going to do the 11 times 2 first. 11 times 2 is 22, and then I have 8 plus 22, and I'm going to add that together, and I get 30. So my answer is 30. I know I did some tough problems and I went fast, but I hope this helped some. Thank you.